You have a Yamaha Wolverine and the headlights are starting to yellow on you. They're just not looking like they used to. And you want to try to clean them up. Well, they're not that easy to do. I tried soaking mine. I took them all apart and put a bunch of solution down in here to try to get it clean. And I've got some rag down in there and turned around inside of it to try to clean them up. It's a lot of work. I even tried to separate the headlight lens from the housing. You see, I started to bend this down. That's just so much work. I'm afraid I'm going to break the glass. I thought there's got to be an easier way. Let me show you the solution that I found. I bought these headlights on Amazon and I've already installed one, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the bike. There's a couple of problems with them whenever you get them out of the box. Number one is this is way too narrow. It doesn't fit in there tight like the other one does. It doesn't have the lock to stop it from doing this kind of thing. The electrical connection is a female, and you needed the male end, so this won't just plug in. So there's some work you have to do to these in order to make them work, and it's not that hard. I'm going to show you what I did to make this fit onto the Wolverine. I'll show you what it looks like right now, and I'll show you what I did to make it fit like that. You can see I've already got it installed. I've got the wiring put in and everything, and this is tight. It doesn't move any direction. It fits in there really good and snug. Now, this is the one that you will get in the box. As you can see, it's got a lot of slop in there. It doesn't fit tight at all. So I'm going to show you what you can do to rectify that and to make this fit perfectly. Okay, first we're going to need a couple of parts from our old headlights. We're going to use the old wiring harness, and we're going to use the old mounts. Now I'm going to show you how we can install these into our new headlight. First off, if you look at this headlight, you'll see it's got a cutout inside of it that looks very similar to the one that come off of the bike. So all you have to do is get in here and pry these little plugs out. One there. And one on the other side. Now we'll take our old mounts and we'll just separate the rubber from the metal pieces. Just take a screwdriver in there. Pull that apart. As you can see, it looks like it's going to fit perfectly, doesn't it? And it does. Fits real tight into the hole. Real good and snug. Okay, now we'll take the other one. Separate it. Now there's our two rubber pieces out of our old headlight. I'll squish this together. It's a little snug going in, but that's good. That means it won't move. There we go. Fits perfectly. And it's got the locks on it that will lock it in place so it doesn't turn on you. Alright, so we'll go to the next step. The next thing we need to do is we need to take this silver screw out. And we'll open up the headlight. Now, what we need to do is we need to either de-pin this or cut it, whatever you prefer to do. I'm just going to cut mine. I do have the de-pinning tool, but I'll probably never use this harness again. But if I do, I can re-put it back together. And then we'll take off our wire harness. Now we're going to reuse our old wiring harness. So we're going to peel this back, and we're going to clean this off with a piece of 100 grit sandpaper. Clean off the contacts really good. We want good contact on there. That ought to work. Now I want to show you on this bulb, it only goes in one direction. It's got a little notch, a little peg on it that goes into a notch right there. You can tell it goes right into this little raised area right here and just slides right in. So it's locked in. Now this part will only go in one direction. You got to find it. There's 3 different configurations that you could hit. Looks like I got the right one right off the bat. You got to kind of wiggle it and work it a little bit, but it's the exact same one. The original one's a little tough to get in as well, but it does go. And once it goes in, it'll drop down in, and you turn it and it fits in there perfectly. And we'll just slide our rubber over the top. Now this doesn't fit really good, but we're going to leave this on here, and once it's inside, it's going to get crushed down like that, and it's going to hold it in place. Now here's where the problem lies with this harness. This plug is too big to fit through this opening all the way. So what do? Well, there's a couple options you can have. You can depin this, pull this out, slide the wire through, and then repin it back if you want to. Myself, I'm just going to cut these little tabs off. I mean, all these are pull tabs anyway. They don't stop it from going in too far. They don't do anything. This is a lock up on top, so you don't want to cut that. We're just going to cut these 2 tabs on the side off to make it slide through the opening. Now, if you didn't want to go through all this, you could depin this, and you could put your own connectors on it, brand new connectors if you wanted to. I've got a kit that will do that. It's got both the male and the female. There's the male and there's the female, and it's got the connectors to put on it. If you wanted to put brand new connectors on it and not have to worry about you know, the connection being rusty or whatever, you could do that. But we're just going to reuse this one. I'm going to show you that if you hit this at an angle and hit it just right, after you trim that off, that'll slide right through. Okay, now we're ready to assemble it. And this hole lines up with this metal clip, and it's got a lock up here at the top that locks in right here. So you want to align that and get that locked in first. And once you get it lined up, put your screw back in it. Now it could be done, you could be ready, but what I've decided to do, which I've done on the other one, is I've got some screws, and I'll show you the kit that I got it out of and what size they are. But I'm going to put some screws in this. I don't know if they were supposed to come with this from the factory. I don't really know, but you kind of got to turn it sideways, you know, kind of line those 2 pins up in order for it to line up, because it wants to kind of go off center a little bit. But we're not trying to pull this together. All we're going to try to do is to hold this so it doesn't come apart. So we're just going to screw it in until it feels tight, and then we're going to stop. do the same thing on this other one. See how it's got a gap in it? I didn't have it pulled together enough when I started the screw in it, so we're going to back it back out, both of them. I'm going to squeeze it together a little more like that and hold it tight. The first tightening of that was basically to get the screw threads cut into this little block. But now you can see this is nice and tight all the way around, the way it's supposed to be. And this headlight's ready to install now. So we'll put it on the ATV. Okay, since this bolt goes through on this bar right here, it's going to hit on the plastic. So we have to move the fender up a little bit. So we'll take this one 10mm head bolt out, and that'll give us enough flexibility where we can move this to put the bolt in. Okay, now we'll squeeze it in between this, and this is a tight fit, and then you got to line those locks up and then push it down in there. All right, now we're ready to slide the bolt in. So we'll lift up the fender. Find the hole, slide the bolt in, and we'll tighten it up. Okay, so now that's good and tight. Okay, now we'll put the bolt back in the fender. Tighten it back up. Now we'll slide our wire down here. We'll find our connector, and we'll just slide it into the connector. Until it's all the way in and that locks it in there. Alright, now we're going to try it. So I'm going to turn the key on. The headlight switch is turned off. I'll put it to low beam. There's low beam, and there's high beam. Low beam, high beam. Boy, they look really good on there too. Nice and fresh, along with the fresh paint job and everything. Looks good. I think those headlights were a perfect solution for the problem we were having with the yellowing headlights. Not only is the yellowing headlights not good for light projection, but it just doesn't look good, you know, especially whenever you're working on trying to clean everything up, make everything look nice and new, and, you know, restore it back to original or close to it. I know it's not a factory part, and I know that the lens is plastic and not glass like the original OEM one is. But even if we have to replace this, you know, every 3 or 4 or 5 years or whatever, because they're getting bad looking, they're so inexpensive. They're easy to fabricate, or whatever you want to call it. They're easy to put together with the original factory parts in order for it to fit correctly. And that is such a plus, believe me. I ordered another set before this set, and they didn't work at all. I mean, it was a big fail. But these here, they're perfect. I'm very, very happy with it. I'll leave a link in the description for these headlights. If you want the wiring kit to put new wire ends on it to make it a nice, good connection to make sure everything works well, then I'll leave a link in the description for that kit as well. Anyway, that's all I had for you today. I appreciate you coming along and watching, and I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and leave me a comment. All right, see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.